arguably one of the biggest storylines that we've ever seen during free agency broke last night. Maxx Crosby was supposed to be going to the Ravens. That deal was no more. It has been an endless saga. Instead of recounting that, Sean, I'd like to figure out best destinations for Maxx Crosby. We'll talk a little bit about the Trey Hendrickson angle in a second here, by the way. I think, and I'm pushing for this purely for a drama, I need the Cincinnati Bengals to get their ducks in order. They've got, I believe, $24 million in cap space. Make some adjustments. Go and get Maxx Crosby. They're an obvious fit because they didn't want to pay Trey Hendrickson because of his age. You get to pay Crosby because he's 3 years younger. They need the production along their defensive line. They need a leader on their defensive line. They need a star on their defensive line. But most importantly, you're the Las Vegas Raiders. You have the opportunity to ship Crosby to a team that is going to face the Ravens twice a year. I need that so badly. If that doesn't end up coming to fruition, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Well, they need a pass rusher, and I guess, do you get Maxx Crosby cheaper now? Is that a situation that we're looking at with damaged goods? That is up Cincinnati's alley because they hate paying players, even if they're good. Cincinnati also fifth lowest sack total as a team last year with 35. Only the dregs of the NFL were lower than them, including Baltimore. So they still have to figure that out. It fits. It works. Cincinnati is a bit scummy, and this whole operation with Maxx Crosby from the Raiders and the Ravens reeks of scum. So let's just add in another team in the mix. Like, I wouldn't want to get a nice clean team's hands dirty infiltrating this whole saga of meniscus and physicals and picks, and now we're spending money, and it's a crazy situation. I don't mind Cincinnati technically, and I think, like, do you think Maxx Crosby would be bummed out that he wasn't playing for the Ravens? Like, is this a chip on his shoulder situation?
I would imagine. I don't think he'd be bummed. He comes off as the type of guy that maybe wouldn't be bummed by not playing for the Ravens, but would be extremely pissed off and motivated every single time he faced the Ravens for their handling of this situation. Because it's just the general premise is, we found an excuse to not want you. That was the way that it came out.
I think that he could be angrier at the Raiders for sending him as like a prop so they could lock down Linderbaum.
No, but that's not what it was, though.
I don't know exactly what it was.
He's the one who requested the trade. You're making it seem like that it was some sort of manipulative maneuver by the Raiders. I don't know. I can't say manipulative today.
There we go.
The ones that were being scammy were the Ravens, and I made a video on this earlier on the main Sports Geek account, kind of talking through it's purely conspiracy, but maybe they realized that they could sign Trey Hendrickson for cheaper and they wouldn't have to give up the picks, and they saw a quick, easy out. Not very different in terms of the quality of player, except the age factor. And again, cheaper. You don't have to give up the picks. They probably saw. They're the ones that were doing the responsible for wrongdoing here. They're the ones that are responsible for that. I don't think that
I could see it from
he's already mad at the Raiders. So, like, why does he give an F? He doesn't think that they were responsible for this whole situation falling apart.
I gotcha, but I would still be pissed if I was like, how did I end up back with them? I'd be angry that I'm back. Like, it feels like you have a big blowout with your stepdad, and then you go over to mom's house, and then she kicks you out, and you got to go back to stepdad and figure out the whole deal there. I mean, not stepdad. What am I thinking? Oh, paternal dad. Whatever. Regardless, let me pitch you a couple teams.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. I love.
All right, give me some.
I'm not a child of divorce, so I didn't have my my wires aligned properly. Low sack team, and then per the spot track, whatever cap. That I'm sure has not been fully updated due to free agency.
No, it's actually.
Oh, it is? Oh, very nice. How about the Arizona Cardinals? They're a bad team with a bad defense that has money that needs a defensive end. I know it's not juicy.
What are you doing?
It's not sexy.
Not juicy. That's not juicy at all.
I know, but it's.
Why
am I?
It would work. Next one. That's
Don't
awful.
boo me. That would
That's
work.
An awful pick.
Screw you.
Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, because no one cares. About that. That's crazy.
Next pick.
I want to acknowledge that this technically works in all universes of this trade happening, and you're booing it because Arizona sucks.
It's interesting.
Okay, I got you.
It's like the Scotty thing that we talked about yesterday. Oh, here's my real insider pick on who's going to win. Who's going to win the Players Championship? Scotty Scheffler.
Oh my!
Yeah,
God.
sure, it makes sense, but who gives an F?
Okay, how about the Colts? They're giving out money to a bunch of dunderheads. Why not give them to Maxx Crosby?
Do they have any room to fit that?
It's saying that they got room here. Let me see here.
They just paid DJ and they just paid Alec Pierce. They watched Woody Pay walk away.
I'm seeing $52 million effective cap space.
If that's true, we're not cap specialists, so let's not pretend to be.
I gotcha.
I think that makes a lot of sense considering the fact that the rumor was that the Bucks and the Colts were the two teams that were potentially the closest to signing Hendrickson. So that one's fine. That one's plausible. The other one that I thought of, a team that was in the Hendrickson hunt that right now has the most amount of available cap space, that has not really gone out and been big spenders despite an expectation that they were going to be. Commanders.
Yeah, they could be in it.
But and that one also fits my whole narrative of what would be dramatic. Now, the Commanders and the Ravens don't play one another, but it would just be funny knowing how those two fan bases butt heads as much as they do.
They play every preseason, I think, in the Battle of the Beltway. So I guess they're.
I don't think they count.
You don't think we'd have a nice preseason fight, a little skirmish in the back? Well, it would count. Come on.
I don't think that means anything.
Yeah, well,
but just from like a territorial fan arguing perspective.
Yeah, it would
give the funnier fan bases as well.
It would give Washington fans such a leg up to just kind of like, Cam Ward, the terrible people of Baltimore. Yeah, I'm not backing off that one either. That would be awesome. How about fun pick, because I can't give real picks? Chargers.
That's not a bad one. I don't think
Chargers got money and they need help.
They need with how good their pass rush was last year. They're bringing back Tuyioti's coming back and Khalil Mack's returning, but I think that they'd much rather have Crosby. Boy, they're not going to trade within the division though.
Do you think they would?
You always do this.
Who would they rather have, Crosby or Scott Matlock at left defensive end?
But I just have to point out, you always do this. You always pitch teams in the division. Why do you always pitch that? They're not going to do that. I almost didn't even recognize that that was what you just did there. So no, take the Chargers off the table.
I completely don't register as the Raiders having a division. They've been
GM
so bad.
in the planet.
Are you kidding me?
GM
Harbaugh with Maxx Crosby would be like the press conferences you would get about his glazing of Crosby.
But it
would be all time.
Happen.
You've never seen a defensive end like this. You've never seen a guy that comes in and puts this max effort. We're naming the team the Los Angeles Maxes because of Crosby. It's the city of Justin Herbert is where they're fighting Maxx Crosby's. That's what the team would be called.
That's all nice, but that's not going to come to fruition.
Oh my God.
I think my pitches are probably.
I can't have you telling me you can't poo-poo Cardinals, which could come to fruition, and then poo-poo Chargers, which also could and should.
That would be absolute last resort, and it also would be one of the most FU things that the Raiders could do, sending him to a team that's in no position to win in the next 3 years.
Could he be banished to Siberia, aka Nashville, and play for the Titans?
I mean, that would also be, but
we make him a watched kid?
No, but that's not Siberia though, because you're sending him to Nashville to play for a tremendous defensive coach in Rob Saleh, and they have more of an upward track towards getting better in the next 2 years than the Cardinals. If you send a dude to a team that has no quarterback and that's starting Jacoby Brissett, that's the worst possible thing. That is
we're down on Jacoby.
Yeah, brother.
Don't.
Comment below which team you want to see Maxx Crosby traded to. Hit the like button. Also, comment why you think that Sean's a dumbass for the teams that he pitched.
We'll take those.
We'll catch you guys live on Thursday.